Hey everyone, it's Winfield. Welcome back to my channel. Um, it's been raining all day, so we're actually gonna be using this view here to draw our next project in our sketchbook. So let's get started to it. So it's been raining, so we're gonna attempt to draw a very a wet environment here in my neighborhood. So it's still close to the winter, and it's already March, but so spring is getting there. So a lot of these trees does not have leaves. So when they do, they'll become very bright green. So right now, we're gonna be drawing these trees here. Maybe like an oak. Again, we don't have to draw every branches of it, but it's just a basic shape. So it's actually sitting on a grass area. So we're gonna indicate that there's some grass here and there. And here's next to it is a lamp post. Not too tall, but maybe just around halfway. And so right across the road is another tree sitting on growing on a dirt with grass. So we're just gonna draw the shape of the grass, not every strands of it again, and we can start the distant tree from here. Again, so I'm just using a broken thick and thin line. So it's good to observe how the branches are growing. So it's majority of it are like at a 45 degree or at an angle, and grows upward. So it starts thick from the trunk and becomes thin as it extends out. Like this. Again, we're gonna indicate that, you know, this is a very distant grass area as well, a strip of grass area. And so we're gonna do something else here. Yeah, so we're also gonna do something else different here, as in we're gonna add in these plants. Their branches. So just the shape of their leaves. Like this. They have some spaces between them, but as for now, so just follow. We're gonna like follow like an invisible line here. Using like a vanishing 1-point perspective. So the further you move your eyes to the right, the smaller the plants becomes. Right. So that's what we're doing here. So we have about these 4 plants so far in the background. As you're looking toward it, they become smaller and smaller this way. So we're now adding the 5th plant and the 6th plant. So you notice that they're getting smaller and smaller as you look toward your right, because this will be like the vanishing point here. And there's another tree here as well. So you hear birds singing on the background, so we'll include those as well later on. So the front. So for now, those are the trees there. This is the view that we're trying to sketch. So there's another tree here on this corner of the road, and further beyond that are these trees behind these houses. So we're just gonna draw these trees in masses, and some of these, some of these tall trees, or maybe just so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We won't be able to fit all of these, but again, at least we're gonna try to draw this tree here. So again, the furthest tree has the most leaves. So you just start drawing it lightly. So I guess from this point we can add on some details here on this first tree that's close to us. And put on some shadows here as well. Again, so just using light or dark lines, thick and thin line, broken lines. And adding some shadows here and there just to give values to our drawings to make this tree stand out from the foreground. Again, so these trees that do not have leaves in them, so you're just drawing these thick branches, and of course they appear dark when you're looking at them because the clouds or the background behind them is very bright. So in contrast, these branches will appear dark to you. Again, so just a few branches will work as well. You don't have to draw what you see. It's a quick that. And as for the birds as well, you know, we did say that there's some birds here. So again, it's just you don't have to draw every detail of it. So you just draw the body, the shape of the head and the beak. And its tail here. Yeah. And you can add here as well. So again, a head and the beak, and the body goes about like this at an angle, and just fill it in, and its tail comes all the way down. So we're adding one more just to make it interesting. Yeah. So this tree is almost done. We're just gonna put some more shadows on this foreground here. As for this lamp post, you know, you just give it some shadows to one side and make it light on the other. So you want to distinguish it as you know, this is natural. This is something of a man-made. So give it something that's it's actually man-made. So you can use the shadow by using vertical lines, because when we put our shadows on this tree here, we use vertical, horizontal, and an angle. Here we're just using vertical shadows instead to separate these two apart. So when you're making a shadow for this pole, we want to indicate that there's shadows here that's being cast on the grass. So how you can draw it is make the grass on this side dark. So this indicates this works as the shadow already, and it's telling your viewer, you know, the grass are visible here. And as for the tree, it's the same here. Make the grass on this part of this grass dark, indicating that this is the shadow. and you can also darken it here as well. As for the bushes, here's a technique that so you don't, because if you put your hand here on a paper, you'll smudge this part of the your drawing. So what you can do is you can use this little finger as an anchor, like that, so that it elevates your hand. See how you see my little finger is like this, like that. So you're actually planting your small finger. You can see it like this. You're planting your finger like this on the paper. At the same time, you're holding your pen, so that you have a gap there. You'll see it. So again, I'm being careful not to smudge this area. So I have since I have a long sleeve here, so I'm gonna probably have to like roll my sleeve as well. So now that we have these plants, the shape of the plants built up, you can put some shadows here, just a small of it. Yeah, darken it where you need to have it darken. Again, to indicate it, some branches, all you gotta do is just make your lines darker, and it'll show up it'll tell you where the viewer, where the branches are at. So darken the lines where your branches are. And again, to indicate it, that your plant is actually planted on the ground, so it's your viewer won't think it's just floating. So it indicated some shadows here at the bottom. So as it goes away, as it goes out, the shadow becomes lighter. So that's telling your audience, that in this case, that the ground here is like uneven but flat ground. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using the shadow from the bottom, because that's where usually where the shadows at from the bottom when your light source is above. So again here, so since there's a as for this plant here that's behind this tree, it's gonna be difficult. So what we can do is we're gonna have this mostly in shadow as well, and at the same time it still indicates where the branch is at from this plant, and at the same time it indicated that you have this tree in front of it. So you can highlight the branches to tell your viewers that yeah there's a tree in front of this plant. So you can use dark lines here for this tree and the shadows, like so. So the branch of this tree goes past above this plant in the background. So we're gonna draw that. Again, you don't have to draw every branches of it. Your viewer will automatically will recognize that this tree is doesn't have all its leaves still. So that's why we're just drawing it. Again, using thick and thin line, broken lines. So these tree's branches. So this tree's branches actually goes in front of this tree. Like this. Just like that. All right, so we're gonna continue to work on this plant here on the background. We'll put on. We're gonna have to draw every leaves of it, but it's just again just the shape of the leaves. Like so. And of course, we have another plant here again. So again, we're telling your viewer that this plant is behind this plant. So we're gonna draw his branches. Here. So it's gonna get crowded here. but it's just again using shadows where it's at, you can have your viewer distinguish it. So for this here, so it's for this tree to pop out from the background, we're gonna putting a lot of shadows up here. Or dark lines. And so we can actually extend the height of this tree all the way up. So. It's the same treatment for these last two plants here. It's just yeah, it's just on the right side. It should be the last one. Again, just don't forget to put your shadow. So you want to indicate your plant's actually growing on a ground, so it's not just like not floating up in the air. Yeah, so you can hear the rains picked up again. So we're almost done. We're in this last two trees so far. As for this tree here, it pretty much kept all its leaves all winter. So how I'm drawing the leaves on this tree is just like, again, scribbled lines and fill it in with dark lines with shadows. And here's the trunk here, goes down. So using thick and thin lines and some grass here. So again, I'm just drawing the shape. You know, drawing every leaves. So the darkest dark is actually on the starting from the bottom right of this tree, because the light source is coming from here, from above. So that your shadows would be on this side. Okay, and that is it. We're done here. So again, thank you for watching my video. And so you get your sketchbook ready, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you.